Hey, flooring pros. I'm Jerry Levinson, and this is the Flooring Business Podcast, where we talk to expert flooring dealers, suppliers, marketing experts, and software experts, and anyone who I believe is going to help you in your flooring business. Now, my mission is to give you good information that'll help you reach your goals. If you're just starting your business, or you're trying to reach $5 million in sales, or you're getting ready to sell your business, you're going to find useful information that'll help you reach your goals and profit now in the flooring industry. The Flooring Business Podcast is brought to you by Ring Ring Marketing. Go to ringringmarketing.com and request a free analysis of your website, your area, and your scope of work. They'll make recommendations on how to best strategize your marketing efforts so you get the best return on your investment. You'll even get a coach that helps you get better results. All right. Well, today on my show, I have, you guys know and love Jason Potts. Jason, welcome back. Glad to have you on the show.
Hey. Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, Jason, do you still have your retail showroom?
No, I actually closed doors on it. I still have the name, but I'm still a service provider.
Okay, so are you still doing some flooring work though? You're still selling and
Oh yeah,
and doing some flooring work
every week. Yeah.
Okay, great. What part of the country are you in again?
I'm in Iowa, so
Iowa.
the corn maze state out here.
All right, there's people in Iowa, huh? All right, cool.
Yeah, there are.
Not just flyover
Movies
country.
And people. Nope.
So,
I mean, you'll see a cornfield, but we're there.
Yeah. So, then you got really involved. It's so funny how this kind of comes about, but you got driven into marketing, got really interested in it. I mean, you were always an intuitive guy, so I've seen you at conferences and you're a sponge. So I've talked to you many times and you're one of those guys, Jay's like this. I love them. And guys like you that you're always asking questions, always curious and want to know everything from everybody, so you were always very intuitive about that. But marketing is it's a real skill, and it's something I've always been fascinated with. I joined a group called I Love Marketing, and it's true. I love marketing. And, but you came to a point where you almost shifted gears really from being a flooring business to understanding, hey, I'm a marketing business. I'm in the business to attract customers. I need leads.
Yeah, 100%. The real reason of this is, digital assets. It's a thing now. Back when you were starting out for your flooring company, and I believe your son runs it now for you, right? Or has
he
took
owns
over the
it.
whole
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have that referral base that you had to have, or that contractor, or that newspaper, or that large old, 60-year-old billboard that drove the traffic to you. Now it's all digital. So digital assets are just as important as you making those relations, or going to those local area parties for these conventions or whatnot. And so I call it owning your digital assets, which, excuse me if I'm wrong, but that's your digital ass in this industry. So That's why I call it the digital asset. So that is where I had to learn how to take over my marketing, because at one point in time, I lost all of my digital assets over a 24-hour period of time.
Wow. No kidding.
So that is that key point that you were talking about, is me taking that moment and deciding what to do. My largest, most I guess creative mind had to come out at that point in time, and I decided I'm going to help others that are in this situation once I get out of it, to help them control their digital assets and understand them. So that's kind of how I got into it.
I mean, there is a lot of people who are very, very frustrated with some of the big dogs out there that specialize in flooring marketing. And you might disagree with this. I've always said that they're not bad people. They're just not doing a good job. And a lot of the stuff I see them doing is the performance is really bad. There's stuff that they do that makes absolutely no sense to me, such as in the header,
it's a volume game,
products, and it is a volume game. And this is one of the topics I told you we are going to discuss, is about like what you should be spending on your marketing. I talk about this a lot, And some people complain about companies and saying, wow, these guys are expensive. I'm spending a lot of money with them. And what I find out is, no, you're not spending enough. I mean,
Right.
you have a very low budget actually, and you're not getting results. But these companies advise you and say, hey, what's your budget? Well, I can do 800 a month. Well, 800 a month in pay-per-click world is not enough. That's not going to get you results in most markets. And I always advise 1,500 a month per product category. So
Right.
narrowly focus and dominate one product category. What are some of the rules that you have in place, thinking about what you need to spend and how you should spend your money?
So, you know, me being in the service trade, helping a lot of the trade pros out, you know, Bala knows best and everything. We got a lot of trade guys. One thing trade guys don't like doing is spending money,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to marketing, because they've all experienced the home divisor pitch, Thumbtack, the Angie's List, you know, all these broken systems that were great in the beginning and then they fell apart. So, the reason a lot of these other companies are, when I say the volume is, they're trying to grab the, you know, more real estate, more caption inside of each city or state of each of those individuals. And so it's all about templated systems, same ad sets, same assets, just it's all just variables that are all the same, but you're just plugging and playing and going. There's no real optimization to get you the real numbers that you need. Where you say $800 a month won't get you much, but I could prove you wrong with the real optimization. But this is for service providers, not for flooring stores. Totally different
Okay.
realm because service providers have videos and pictures of their work and it's them doing the job. That's an easier sell than a flooring store with 12 salespeople and 18 different installers. So I've realized that the service providers are much easier to get a job than a flooring store. One is
Well,
they'll most likely sell them in house.
give me an example of how somebody would spend like $800, a small budget, on getting having good lead generation. And how would you recommend they spend that money? What kind of things would you do for them?
So a flooring refinisher is going after one campaign and four ad sets, typically on a Google Ads campaign. A flooring store, that's a lot to understand too. I get that. But a flooring store, just listen to the numeric number I'm telling you, is they'll have six campaigns with four ad sets in each, with more, you know, so you're taking all that money and you're having to disperse it between call campaigns, displays, YouTube, all this stuff. A service provider simply just needs a landing page with a form about one campaign and four ad groups.
Yeah.
And so what they're able to do is they're able to get clicks to that campaign, showing their work, showing images, showing everything they're doing, having a picture of their family, or even a video of them talking. And you know, they're getting these for $3 a click. And
I
I can prove
love
that all
the
day.
I love the landing page. I've often argued this. I really think a lot of even retail flooring stores could get away with a landing page, maybe five landing pages for each product that they
Yep.
sell. But there's a lot of things that you're saying here that are great to unpack. So one is, I like to say, hey, even a flooring retailer, you make a distinction, but the reality is, I tell the flooring retailers that, hey, try to dominate one product. Don't try to advertise carpet, flooring, luxury vinyl, hardwood, tile, because these
Right.
products aren't your children. They don't all require the same amount of attention. What you want to focus on is what's going to get the most leads and attention. So you could dominate your market in carpet, or dominate
Right.
it in hardwood refinish, rather than trying to sell a little bit of everything. Uh, we
Right.
we
And
got
I
guys
think
crushing it
the
with
big
tile. You know that you can
right.
crush it with tile, and especially like showers or backsplashes. You know you can crush it with those areas.
You better be good at it though.
I mean that kind of goes without saying, and that's funny in
Yeah.
your world of the contractors. The focus is on being good. In my world, the focus is on getting the job and then doing a good job.
Right.
So,
Right.
I think you still want to always provide a good 5-star experience, but being good at
Yep.
what you do, let's face it, the reality is being really good at what you do doesn't get you work. The only thing that gets you work is
No,
marketing.
no.
Because how are people going to know that you do a good job? Well, they'll tell their friends and family. Okay, you might get a little bit of business, but you still need some marketing, even if it's referral marketing. Going
Right.
back to the people you did the work for, asking for referrals. You can't grow a business. Maybe you could survive as a one man show, but you can't grow a business without any.
No, it's you know what, like I'm on myself and I got three installers, three refinishers on my side as well. So I can do up to four jobs a week still to this day and still close 70 to 100,000 a month. And the biggest factor is you have to be able to get to those measures, close the jobs, but also be able to get them, meaning the marketing or having a way to get your references or your clientele. And
Yeah.
obviously, Jerry, you've been through the older times, and now you're in the newer times, and you got weirdos like me throwing AI all over the place in these industries. And I think that the LSA ads on the topic of getting leads and trying to get it sold is LSA is the local service ads Google has recognized for service providers only. A store cannot
Oh,
do it.
really? I didn't know
They
that.
have to be a service provider.
Huh.
Um,
Okay.
if you're a service provider and a store, that's great. But if you're just a store and you don't have your license ID number with the state to do that certain job, you can't qualify. So if you refinish floors and you're in the flooring registration, you can do it. Google's doing it because trade pros are dying off. I mean, they're retiring, I mean, by the flock. So we don't have enough tradesmen to substantially gain back over the next 10 years. It's going to take a lot of time to regrow. So, me being 34 years old, I'm in a very comfortable place, go anywhere in the country, maybe even the world, to get a job and land it. But you're right. The problem is if nobody knows you and you don't know how to get out there, you're not going to get any work.
Yeah.
But Google fixed that by LSA ads. That's the most important thing out of this entire call I can tell you, or the podcast is if you have anybody that's a local service provider, simply go to local service ads and sign up, put your business in. It's very easy. You put a number in, just like Home Advisor, but these are real leads. And you'll get leads cheaper than the world, and they filter through. You don't pay if they're not real ones, but that's how you can help others that are actually, really struggling and they don't want to spend $1,500 a month. At least they can start with that, and they're like $3, $4. And I think Matt Garcia, I actually set him up on it. Bobby Denton, I set up a lot of people. Patrick Russell,
Oh,
all
you're
of them.
working with
So,
Bobby Denton.
uh,
Yeah, I worked with them.
yep,
Great.
yeah. So she's actually down there, and I got her set up, and she's got two different service provider accounts, and she's just killing it right now. Her phone's
Yeah.
been ringing off the hook.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
we're excited to see where she goes, just like Matt.
Yeah.
So it's a fun time.
So, are you seeing in the sand and refinish? I think the wood flooring industry is fascinating. I'm getting more and more into that
I
where,
love it.
the flooring industry, anybody can get into, carpet, luxury vinyl,
Yep.
anybody can get into it. I can
I know
find
shit about carpet.
installers. Yeah, right. So, and that's how I help train people is showing them how easy it is to sell and those products. And then, yeah, you got to follow up and do a good job on the install and provide great customer service. Wood flooring is different because it does require a lot more skill. And what
Right,
frustrates me with the wood flooring guys is the ones that sell sand and refinish so cheap and treat it like they're painting drywall. It's like you really,
right.
what the kind of work that goes into that, you should be commanding higher prices. So I've had the
And a
opportunity
200
to,
pound drum sander in someone's house and you're sanding it. Yeah, it needs to be, there's a risk there. You need to make sure you cover it.
yeah. And yeah, there's a lot of things that can go wrong where you have to redo it. I'm working with one client and he tells me that, it didn't come out right and he had to redo it. It's like, oh my
Right,
God, it's a nightmare. You should command higher prices and you're worth it, but just because there's
right.
somebody in their truck charging $3 a foot doesn't mean you have to. It just means you have to do a better job selling.
No,
But
right. And I would say for the leads overall, like we were saying with the digital assets, right? You can't help yourself if you don't understand a single little bit. If you don't know what a landing page is or how your client, when they click your ad and how to find if they converted or not, which is what I teach all of my guys. And I'm sure you have to show your retailers or anybody you help is, well, how are you getting the leads? Where are you spending your money? If you don't understand that, you're
Yeah.
never going to be able to increase your lead generation.
They don't want to. A lot of people don't want to. They want to hire somebody and they say, I trust them. And we know the
Hmm.
companies that are out
Yep.
there, they're big, they talk great. They can sell the hell out of anything, right? They're
Yep.
really convincing that they are going to do a great job. And hey, you've been doing this. You've got 500 clients. You know what you're doing. I trust you. Here's the money. And it's the worst mistake you can make. And not be
Yep.
interested in your marketing. It's hard to convince people to do that. I was at a conference, in a Mohawk conference, and sitting down, and they just rolled out this new program called Omnify that was $1,000 a month and got you on these platforms. This was back in like 2015, 16, and
Yep.
got you on all these platforms. It was a brilliant deal. It was a great way to get people who weren't involved in digital marketing to get involved, get a website, get things going that they're going to need. And I was having lunch with this old guy. He says, I'm not spending $12,000 a year on marketing. I'm like, are you kidding me? I spend that every 3 months, Yeah.
Yeah, no
He said,
kidding.
really? Okay, I'll go sign up. And he went on and signed up for it. So, um, but there's a lot of people still that don't want to spend any money on marketing, and they don't want to learn about it. And I've often said that you've got dealers coming in for a PK session. You know what? A PK session never bought you a customer. Have a
Right.
have a marketing session. Talk to your advertising guys. Learn about it. It's the most important
But
thing
you only
is
get them
is
once a
attracting
month.
leads.
Once a month, Jerry. So I mean, it's
That's
funny
at the
that you
bare
say talk to
minimum,
the.
man. I talk to mine all the time, man. I'm always on the phone, like at least 3, 4 times a month. I'm talking to my
Oh yeah,
advertising guys.
I talk to all of our guys. It's twice a week. We get on a Zoom meeting, just like me and you are, and I have all my freelancers. We pile up in there, and each person can ask questions, and we can fix anything. And that's the way it should be. Is you're paying for someone to help you with their digital assets, but you still need to understand them. So what I've done is obviously the whole call is AI, right? It's a thing.
Yeah,
It's not like building a website the way you had to do it back in the 90s when it really started, kicking off. Websites, you can go to Squarespace, you can go to Wix, you can do anything, and you're probably going to have a website generated with AI of some sort in some sort of way. So it's important to know that the tools are here to help you do it. And I think, and I truly believe that marketing full enclosed systems are probably going to fade away because AI is going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you. I would not be surprised if Squarespace, GoDaddy, all these other places start coming out with AI generated, these websites for you to just input this information in and your website's built. What we do is we allow you to go in like your Facebook page and you can change whatever you want, your header, your image, and we show you how to do it and we let AI do it for you. So you can't get it wrong. It's
I
just like
I,
Facebook.
I
It's
have such
easy
a
to
love hate
operate.
relationship with AI, and
I know it. Got to get
um
over it, Jerry.
so no, and I use it though. I use it all the time. So I have a good YouTube channel, and a lot of times I go in there and use the title generator. I'll create the title, and then I use AI to make it better because they'll have a suggested title that gives you good SEO, gives you good words. So there is
Right.
a lot of places you can use it. Where I really didn't like AI is for customer interfacing. And I'll admit, you have one of the best customer interfacing. You introduced a website that you built, and you used AI for customer interfacing, and which just makes my skin crawl to think about
Yeah. It
a
does.
machine talking to a computer talking to a customer. Now, here's the funny thing. We all do Google searches for information, and we're fine with
Hmm.
that. We're fine with the computer giving us the information we need. But when we feel like we're talking to a person and they're tricking us and saying, no, this is actually AI, this is a computer, once you realize that you're talking to a computer, not a person, I think that's a big turnoff for people. But the system that you had did a better job answering questions. And I put it through paces. I asked it pricing questions. I think I asked it some nonsense questions. I put it
Yeah.
through several paces to test it and see it. And at any point, could I tell this is obviously AI? And I don't think I could ever at any point really definitively say that that was AI, that that
Do
wasn't
you
a
want to
real
know
person.
why?
Why?
Because Patrick has a thumbs up and a thumbs down emblem. So if he doesn't like the answer that the AI gave, he pushes a thumbs down and he puts his relevant answer that he would respond like. And the machine learning takes it from there, goes through GitHub, goes through Firebase, and goes through all these algorithms that I built with OpenAI. And it learns to start responding relevant to the same answer that he gave off a relevant question. So over time, it'll get smarter and smarter and smarter. And it'll probably be the replicate of Patrick. But at no point are we really trying to say this isn't AI. I want people to know it's AI. It's going to be the future. They got to accept it no matter what. But I want it to be one of the better AI tools, not, a replacement of Patrick. I want it to
That's why
help him.
I suggested this is the only suggestion I have for you, and I would love to see you do that as a test. Is to
Yeah.
introduce it that this is AI Patrick. If you want to talk to real human Patrick, click here. And because I think if people know that they'll say, "Oh, okay, let me see how good AI Patrick is. Let me test it. Let me play around with it." But they'll appreciate the fact that you weren't treating them, you weren't trying to fool them. And I did this when I had an answering service because the answering services. Have you ever had an answering service before?
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
So
Yep.
the answering service wants to pretend like they're you, right? And they don't tell customers. And customers will ask the most basic question, and the answering service says, "Well, I don't know. I'm going to have Jason get back to you on that." You're thinking,
Right.
why? Really? You don't know if you're open on Saturdays?
Yeah.
Just something silly. And so I had my answering service would answer the phone. This is the answering service for Carpets of Arizona. How can I help you? So let them know up front that this
Right.
is an answering service answering the phone. And
So,
that overcame that kind of frustration from the customer having to learn that this is an answering service.
right. Just as long as there's that mutual connection between the client and the actual physical store or owner is the goal. And at one point in time, I can off, recorded screen is I could show you these. I have over 6,000 lines of algorithms and code that I've written over the past year and a half with GPT. And not only does Patrick message you, you can call Patrick and I can replicate his voice like I recently did with Ken Balance. And you can actually talk to Patrick with his voice. While you're talking to him, the AI is scraping the conversation, and then what it's going to be doing is looking for objections or anything like that. And in front of him is suggested things to say or do, even if he's talking to them or if it's talking to itself. So it suggests things to itself or it'll suggest things to Patrick on this line. This is how crazy AI is getting that hasn't even touched the waters in the flooring industry yet. Is I can replicate your voice. I can send you a text message while I'm talking to you on the phone if you think it's me. And then I can confirm that you got it, you signed up, and I can also take a payment if I wanted to with my AI,
Wow.
who you think is me and sounds like me. So there's just a lot to it that we're doing, and I obviously I want to be known as the AI king in the flooring industry. I'm going to keep saying that until it happens. But um, yeah, I mean anything you could possibly imagine or think that would help with AI, I can
So
probably
here's
make it
something that's
happen.
kind of funny. I mean, when I interview clients, they're they're doing a discovery call with me. I'll interview them
Hmm.
on what their selling process is, and I ask them certain questions. And I bet in some points, AI probably answers the questions better than the human would have answered it, because sometimes they don't do a good
Yeah,
job answering certain questions from clients. And even with
and
our
it's really the
sales
response rate.
training would be uh, um, it'd be interesting because our sales training, let me give you a good example. So a customer wants to have you come out to let's say carpet. They want you to come out and do carpet. A lot of people say, well, what color are you looking for? Which I always say is a horrible question because nobody knows what color they
Right.
really want.
Right.
So I train my salespeople to say, do you know what you're looking for, or would you like me to bring out a selection for you? And the customer will 95% of the time say, oh my God, that would be great. If you would bring out some samples, I'd appreciate that because they
Right.
don't know the texture or the color or the style that they're looking for. They've never bought carpet. So a lot of
Right.
them don't have anything in mind. And you make the customer feel stupid. Well, that would be an easy thing to train an AI to do is to ask the question the right way. So we
And
got an
that it
appointment.
won't, it doesn't have to respond for you. Like I said, in the messaging blocks, say you're sitting at your service desk at your son's store now, right?
Yeah.
Someone's typing and there's a time limit. You got 35 seconds to respond, but here's some suggested responses before I send one, is what my AI is doing. Because I want to close that client immediately as fast as I can. Facebook, social media, messaging, if you don't grab them within less than a minute, they're gone. They're somewhere else. You won't see that message.
Yeah, this is the other thing that I really liked with your service is that it responded slowly. It didn't respond so fast that you're like, oh yeah, this is a computer because there ain't nobody typing that fast.
Right.
So
Yep.
sometimes they respond so fast, you're like, well, obviously this isn't a human.
Right. And it'll actually dictate it based on how fast you're typing back. So it's a response curl that I've made
No
that
kidding.
yeah, so I'm trying to
That's
match you
that's
and
pretty
match.
cool. Yeah, that's pretty
So
cool.
the only thing I haven't been able to do yet is have the little bubble, look like it's texting. So that's my next step.
Do you have this? I would love for you to do this. Is have a dummy website or a place that people can go to test it.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, if
a
you share the
flooring
website,
a flooring
the
website
if you go
that's
to the localleadconnector.com, I will put a about on there. Um, I'll activate it and you can talk to it. And what I'll do is I'll train it um, based on however you want me to train it, Jerry. After this call, I will assure you by the end of the day, it'll act the way you're wanting me to do it.
not for me, but for anybody that's interested in this
Sure.
and wants to test how this would work. What I want to do is send people there and just basically do like a beta test or something. Say, hey, what do you guys think? Go here, challenge it, and give us your feedback of what you think. Somebody
And we
did.
did that with the Ballon Knows Best.
Okay.
That was
Um,
my first AI chat system that I
I don't
released,
know if I went
and it
there.
has
I
over,
don't think I went to
yeah,
his.
it's ballontknowsbest.com, and basically we trained it to answer any of the flooring installation obstacles or references or anything like that. It has over 3,000 Q&As that have been personally overlooked by Ken Ballon or relative answers redone by him. So that he has the most advanced installer
Yeah.
AI chat. So it's it's not me training them; it's the people training them for themselves.
What pisses me off about Ken, I'm just gonna tell you, is the way those glasses stay on his bald head. I
I
won't have
tell
anything
you,
to do with that guy because, see him working on a set of stairs or no matter where that guy could be in a windstorm and his glasses would be on top of his head. So
I never
I
really
want
thought
nothing to
about
do
that.
with him.
Physics.
Right?
He's beating physics
I think
themselves.
they're super glued
But
there or something. Um, so he's got such a personality that cracks me up. Love that guy. Um, so I think one of the other things too that's really more interesting to me than the AI is really the whole landing page strategy that you have because I
right,
do believe, especially for the service businesses, but even if I was a retail store, um, I would test out hiring you because I could keep my web company, keep all that, and
right,
hire you to do a single landing page for a specific product. And that would be
Right.
cool to test that because I've got clients that are like crushing it with showers.
Right.
So we could create a dedicated landing page for showers and test market it and do ads like where would you post the ads? You said Google. Would you do anything on Facebook?
I would do if it's a shower, showers do better for Google Ads with a lookalike campaign.
Okay.
It's called a Max Performance Max campaign for
Yeah.
Google. What you're able to do is take certain sectors out and do a lookalike campaign to reference back to your social media to say, hey, if this person clicked on this ad or any of your competitors' ads, or even was in this geo fence of all of these people looking for this, or their brother, if there's somebody that is looking for this specific niche or this specific tradesman or this keyword, I want to hit all the iPads or all the phones in that family with that IP address.
Yeah.
So that's a lookalike is plus 1 to 7% lookalike is a good variance to have. So that's why when you were to say something about a vehicle or anything in your house, everybody's experienced it. It just popped up on my phone.
Right.
That's called retargeting. And that's how it works. It's your phones listen. Unfortunately, so does the Alexa that's probably going to ask me, how can I help you? They really need to update those things. But the retargeting is a key to any landing page. You want to, if you understand your digital assets and you understand how a client gets to you and you see all the data behind it, you're going to understand that, hey, social media does great, but it really came from Google because they clicked on Google before Facebook. So Facebook found them because of Google. So you kind of have to use both to
Yeah.
really narrow down and funnel them into your landing page, which is a funnel because landing
Yeah.
page is all about that service. And then you got all these little CTAs, call to action button says sign up now, buy this now, schedule here, or, get 80% off, which, my wife believes to this day on Amazon. So um, you can do just about anything with a funnel page as a website. And honestly, I say a funnel page is the best option for marketing because it's secluded to what you're trying to sell.
It's a tough conversation to have with flooring dealers because they don't. When we were talking about it, I'm in another group called Triumphant Coaching, and they teach you how to do Facebook ads that are basically free.
Right,
It's a shoot the damn video method, and that I teach and preach so much that hey, this content is free. Just shoot the video. You don't need to pay for advertising, and I think the free ads on Facebook work much better than the paid ads do. As far as you can get
right.
leads with, I just posted about this. You could generate a lot of leads, but not get customers on Facebook with the paid advertising. So even if I had a landing page though, what the other thing we call that is a lead magnet. So
Right.
some of the terminology you're using, like CTAs, lead magnet, funnels, we don't understand that in the retail flooring world. Very few people do. As I sold consulting and masterclass, one of the things I used to never talk about was marketing because people weren't interested in marketing and lead generation. They were interested in growing their business. They're interested in certain things, but I couldn't get their attention with talking to them about marketing until I had them sitting in front of me. So I think
Right.
especially with the younger generation, you guys are a lot more savvy when it comes to lead generation and understanding that you need these things to build your business. And you got these
You
frustrated
do.
contractors that are starting to realize it too. They were fat and happy for a couple years. Now things are slowing down and they going, hey, I need leads. I need good lead generation. Well, this is like one of the best strategies I've seen in as far as, especially you said for a service business, but I would do this in a heartbeat as a retailer. I would just pick one product category and give that to you to say, I would still probably have my marketing company that does my website and does pay per click and SEO. And then I would say, hey, man, I want to crush it in showers, or I want to crush it with, wood flooring or sand and refinish or tile installs, So, can you build me a landing page? Give me an idea of what that would run. Do you mind sharing the costs?
Yeah, I mean, basically, we help everybody out for 297 a month. That comes with the full-on Fledge AI. That comes with your full-on website. That comes with almost 19 pages of websites, which are all funnels. So our websites are built a database of funnels. Each page is a funnel, where most websites are not funnels. They're just pages with, information. What I've done is I was like, well, what if you take a funnel and that's one landing page? So that
Yeah.
means there's three steps. You have your clients, they click an ad, they go there. Then they have to click the CTA and then they go to a thank you page. So what I did was I made funnel pages for every single page on that website because every single page should be very at most important as the rest of them, right? Your product page barely gets you business, believe it or not. Everybody's got product pages now. If anything, my competitor's helping me. So,
I hate that whole
you having
catalog
these
page
funnels,
bullshit. I'm sorry. You know what? I did a little research into it, and I didn't think who's going to go to a catalog page, right? Especially with carpet, which we
nobody,
sold most of, and and I found a lot of traffic went there. So I looked into it a little bit more, and I saw, oh, if you click on carpet, you go to the catalog page as the default page. That's why people are going there. It's not because they're searching for the
right?
catalog, it's because it's the default page. So I changed my
Right,
default page to pricing, and that became my number one page.
right. And I actually like Matt. I think if anybody looks at San Angelo Craftsman Hardwoodflooring.com, right? Matt Garcia's This is the largest website I ever built. I needed to see how fast I could get him to rank. And I got him to rank number one in Texas, in San Angelo, Texas, across the board for almost every single keyword for free. He doesn't pay to be at the top because it's SEO. You know how that works.
Yeah.
All of his pages are landing pages or funnels.
Oh, that looks
And
great. Man, that looks great.
what it
His
all
website looked
what
like
it all
shit
came
for
down
so long.
to.
It was
So
awful.
I mean, it's he ranked tremendously fast. He doesn't have a catalog, but yet he's number one. And the reason I can only think of this is because if everybody has the same catalog, you know, that's not relevant to Google. Google doesn't care that you have the same catalog as 1,000 other retailers in your area. So think about that. You're plagiarizing the same information over and over and over. Whose chronicle page, whose dominant page, whose website truly owns that is who it benefits. Those catalog pages don't rank you because your catalog page is the same exact as another person's if it's the same marketing company, unless it was custom built. So if you have the same carpet description, same carpet name from Mohawk, all this stuff, whatever it is, right? It doesn't help you rank. It's not relevant. And odds are the client's not even going to click on it unless every link on your page goes to that catalog, which is not a good thing, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Your pricing page was actually better. So on each page in our system, you can actually see how much traffic you see on each one per day, how many people are constantly on it, live view, how long they were on it. And that's the data you want to see because you want to see your area using AI, of course, is you want to know what is the most interesting to people coming to your website.
Right.
And I made one water restoration page. I don't even think I did it that well. I just threw some AI content in there for Matt. He closed water restoration jobs. It was just like a simple article on a simple landing page, a funnel with AI connected to it, was able to get him jobs about water. So
Yeah.
catalogs to me are worthless.
I mean,
It's
nobody's
about the
even
relevant
reading
information.
that, but it's like I can easily book an appointment here for a
And
free
that's all that matters.
consultation.
Just book the appointment. It's like shoot the
The
call, shoot the
website.
video, right? But book the
Right.
appointment. That's the first thing they should see. Because in the end, are they going to read anything? No, probably
No,
not. They'll watch
no.
videos. They'll look at your pictures. They'll look at reviews, but they're not going to read anything on there. But you still
Right.
have to have it for SEO, at least for right now, until Google changes that method. Is just have your form at the top of the website, have a nice form, make sure it's easy for them to do it, and have an amenities map at the bottom of your website. Have a map of other locations around you, because that is the biggest way you can help yourself grow, is having an amenities map, a map that helps customers find other things around you. That helps you tremendously.
So basically, every page is a squeeze page that's on his
Correct.
website.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
And then, which I like because you can do a lot of great marketing testing. And again, you can do it for free on Facebook. You don't have
Right.
to put money behind it and place an ad and send people to that page. We were telling people that with pricing, if you create a pricing page, just do a ad on Facebook, say, hey, to see what it costs, what you should budget for luxury vinyl
Right.
installed, go to this page, and it gives them an idea of what it would cost. It doesn't give accurate prices, but it gives people an idea of what they should budget for their project. Um, no, this is fantastic.
Because the pages, just so you, I don't know if you know this or not, Jerry, the pages, the name of the page is the keyword that page should talk about.
Yeah.
Like that exact keyword needs to be referenced multiple times in that page. The title of that page needs to be, that is the keyword. So when someone is searching on Google and that page pops up, that's the keyword they're clicking on. They don't care about reading. They just care about that keyword they just researched and fill out a form to get you to come do an estimate. That's what they
So
care about.
what would it cost? I know you helped Matt out in this deal in your, which is a great idea to do that to what do we call it, a case study basically.
Entrepreneurship.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, and we're doing this now as like a case study. It's like if I can get results for this guy, let's see what we can do for you. So it was a good idea, especially for somebody like Matt, who's well known in the community. But
right.
if you can do that, realistically, what would you charge to build a website like that?
Realistically, without AI, it would have been about 20, 30 grand, as you would know. With AI, it'll take me 3 days. So, and I'm not doing much at all other than optimizing a couple of the values, the codes. So
Yeah.
everything we do now, over this past, really over the past 6 months, is now I have Matt's website. It works. It's great. Now, how do I code it for AI to do this? So when you fill out my form, AI takes all these servers, all these keywords that you want to rank for, and it starts writing it all out. But you still need the human to go through and make sure it's not anything, you know, crazy. So it's really just the 297 a month. You can add as many pages as you want. Yeah, we'll help you, but 297 a month is more than enough for me to go in and optimize and to have my AI write it, because
What
my
about
AI
the
costs me a penny.
how does the marketing work? So if you want to do the Google leads, what do
We
you call
teach
it?
you, and AI
SL.
sets it up.
Well, what if I don't want to learn and I
LSA,
want you to do it for me? LSA, yeah.
the LSA is, yeah, that's a one-step process, and I'm still not going to charge you more than 297.
Okay. But that's
Be-
not,
it's honestly that
or
easy,
you're hooking up with Google and you're only being charged per click basically or per lead.
right?
Okay.
This Google, the LSA is so mind-numbing simple. As long as you have your, your business registration ID, you have to be insured. You have to be insured. They
Okay.
want you to, they validate the client. This is how crazy Google got with it to help tradesmen get leads. They say, if they mess up in your home, we'll give you $2,000 back.
Wow.
Literally says that on there. So if you go look at the, that big green check mark
Yeah.
on Google, that's a
Yep.
Google guaranteed service provider. Even dentists do it, attorneys do it, right?
Wow.
But if they mess up, they're probably not going to be a green mark anymore. So yeah, it's great to be there, but you better be doing a great job, because old Google's kind of getting outdated. The new Google is, well, how do we make this more prominent? How do we do stores, service providers? So you're going to see service providers first, then you're probably going to see more brick and mortar, maybe digital spaces, I don't know how it's all going to work, but Google's dramatically changing. They're not going to stand stale during this massive AI crunch, as you would
Right.
probably assume. But Gemini came out and I used it, and it's great for a consumer, but not for a developer, not for myself. So yeah, they got some big things coming, and that LSA is the first one.
The 297 is what you're charging to manage. Does that include hosting the site and any
Yep,
other
that's
charges
everything.
that they would?
Not unless they're wanting something special, like they want us to, hey, we want our background to have, these floating vinyl planks dropping from the background, something crazy like that, which, we have. I built ProCode's website, so their whole e-commerce site. And Jerry, I never built websites before. Even Austin at ProCode even knows this. I told him up front, it's like, hey, I'm going to try my best, see where it can happen. I'm going to see if I can get you to rank. So what happens is the coding and the needs from somebody, if it's something that I can't produce easily with my team, then yeah, we have up charges. But if it's something that we do on a regular basis, so I have a team of almost 10 people that help with SEO, marketing, and this is all done with AI that I built. So I built an AI to answer questions, to build these pages, to help with the marketing. And in fact, I just introduced to Matt and Patrick and a few others that were on the call last week is you can go to our platform, you can click, go to ads. And what happens is Google and Facebook pops up. You sign in, you pick your ad that's already pre-optimized and built out. It already has your name and everything because everything's coded, so it knows what to do. And you can launch your ad within 3 minutes on Google or Facebook, and it'll work well.
Yeah, something else.
So, I mean, there's just a lot. It's been 2 years, Jerry, since you really found out what I was doing, but
Yeah.
it's a massive system, and I decided to stop growing it and just concentrate on it now. So you caught us at the right time.
Yeah. Well, I think you can accomplish your goals, which you wanted to crush uh, he who shall not be named, Voldemort.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
And you're gonna
There's
be a
recognition to be
disruptor in the
made here.
industry with this, so it'll be interesting to see. So that was
No,
impressive.
I mean, yeah. If you need anything,
I
I
really
mean, that's
and
not
this
even
is again I'm gonna give you honest feedback and criticism. The the AI push is coming from everywhere and everything,
right,
and I don't like the marketing of AI because you're not doing AI for people. You're doing lead generation for people. That's what they need
right.
and that's what
Yep.
they want. I mean, the AI is again, so many people are talking about it, it kind of waters down your message in that,
Right.
what
They're
you're
using,
really
the
doing is you're doing great lead generation at a very, nothing price. It's way too low, but that's another
Yep. I
conversation.
mean, that's it's a volume game for me right now. I've always I understand tradesmen can't. If I was going for retailers, yeah, I'd probably jump up to less margin than most of the Goonies out there, but the floors at more than affordable, as you know, to
Yeah.
for the system that Mike offers and stuff like that. So I mean, I really enjoy the industry. I didn't want to leave it. I think at one point in time you asked me why would I want to stay, and I said, well, I like it. I truly enjoy it, and I do want to push my image in this industry for some reason. I really want to be known for this one thing, and I decided that was AI. So
Well, I'll put it in perspective for you a little bit. I don't give a shit about the industry. I really don't. I care about the people. I care about the retailers and the installers and the people, and especially the
right,
people who want to grow. I have no illusions of trying to change the industry or do anything, but those of them that want the help, I love, to be able
right.
to talk to people that want the help. We were talking in Tile Money the other day that somebody was saying that you can't close a sale in the home. And it's like, well, no, you're unwilling to learn.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
100%.
I,
Yeah.
I could show you in a heartbeat how you can easily close the sale in the home and figure out pricing for your product, but you want to defend your position rather than learn how to do it. So,
You know, Gary, there was one thing I took from you. I think it was one of our first, second conversations, and it was at actually it was at one of the first FloorCon event, right? And I think
yeah.
everybody's having drinks. And you were like, well, what's your sales? How do you do this? And I was like, well, winter's come up, we get a little slower. And I was like, well, what would you do, Jared? And you were like, you know what I would do? I would tell them I would shovel their sidewalk for free. And I said, you shovel the sidewalk, Jerry? It snows like 3 feet sometimes. But I put it in my pitch, and I had people, installers, would shovel the sidewalks before the install.
Oh, really?
And to this day, I didn't know if you really meant it or you were just giving me
No,
shit.
I offer free
But
snow
either way,
shoveling.
there are a lot of shoveled sidewalks that year.
Yeah, but I mean, we do free snow shoveling, but we're in Arizona. It never snows.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we get a lot of snow up here, so
So
that makes
that's
sense now
that's
for
why
you,
I
though.
offer it. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and we get a lot of snowbirds here that so when they see that in the ad, they love it.
Oh
And they'll
man.
say, well, it doesn't snow here. And I said, yeah, you'd think more people would offer to do it then.
Right. I offered it and it turned out it worked great. They got
That is
a,
that is one of the funniest stories I think I've ever heard that you you
I
do
didn't
that
know you
for
were in
flooring.
Arizona, but
That
I
is
was like,
not
I took it literal. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot.
that is not a legitimate suggestion for anybody I have out there. I've got a lot of advice to give you. That's not one of them. Not for
No,
someplace that snows. No,
worked
my
great
advice
though.
is to raise your prices, close in the home, make it easy to for people to make a buying decision, sell higher end products, understand marketing. I'll tell you one of the lessons learned yesterday. I was talking to a client and we were going, he's like, man, my closing rate's like 10%. It's just really the last 2 months. I said, well, is this just the last month? Because everybody can have a bad month. So, when you have a bad month, don't change anything. Just sometimes you're going to have a bad month. But it was 2 months in a row. I'm like, okay, we got a problem here. So, we were talking about it, and it's like I do everything the way you told me to. One of his goals was to get over 100,000 a month, and when we started working with each other, he got over 100,000 the first month we started working together, and hasn't looked
Right.
back. But um, just over the last 2-3 months, it's been really difficult, and he's advertising mostly on Facebook, doing paid advertising. I'm like, take all that money off of Facebook and put it into Google and SEO on your web. His website's excellent. And I said,
Right.
put the money into your website because I think what's happening is you're attracting bad leads. And so I
Yep.
posted a video yesterday. Are you trying to get leads or are you trying to get customers? So certain advertising attracts good customers. Some advertising just attracts leads and they're bad. I haven't seen a good Facebook campaign yet that really did a good job attracting quality customers.
We got the refinishing one, which you wouldn't be targeted in Arizona,
Yeah.
but you know, we would get almost 30 to 40 measurements in a week in Ohio. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's a lot of measures.
Is that
Even here,
but is that a paid ad or a free? I bet you even free you could do really well with that kind of ad.
and a free, yeah, you would just have to really post in the right groups. You can use these groups, whether you get kicked out or not, doesn't really matter. It's better
Yeah.
than nothing. But once you get your name out there is what's important. But I would say the Facebook campaigns for service providers with good quality images or videos is a great way to to get it. But don't do an image. Don't do a headline with an image with a massive amount of text and emojis. Nobody's going to read it. So just short headline with a nice video and a CTA, you'll get a lot of leads. If
Yeah.
it's a good TikTok video, essentially.
I tell you what's working really good is to put down the price, the time frame. We can get it done in 2 weeks or 2 days or 3 days. You got the product, the price, and the time that you can take to get it done. People really respond to all that information. But uh, we've done really well with free. The other thing is that I tell people to put it on their personal page, not on their business page. Of course, if you're doing paid advertising, it's got to go on your business page. But on your personal profile. That's something that I've been on a big kick on. It's like, hey, do people know what you do for a living? I mean, if
Right.
I can go on your personal profile and I can't tell what you do, then you're trying to keep it a secret from your family and friends and the people that know you best.
Right. I mean, that's your digital asset is, I mean, Facebook defines who you are now, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like a phone book anymore. You don't look somebody up and call them and ask them about them. You go to their Facebook.
But here's the thing, and I'll talk to Matt about this. I think what's really key in what you did is I guarantee you he could do a lot of good free advertising on Facebook with these landing pages and
Oh
send
yeah.
people directly to a specific landing page that is about what they're looking for. Not his
Yeah, we
homepage, but a very specific landing page.
I believe Matt said we increased his traffic by over 40%.
Wow,
And that's
that's
all SEO.
fantastic.
We have not done a single campaign,
When
not a
did you go
single
live?
ad campaign. Uh, right. It was right after the ties, about 2 months after. It took me a while to build that site. That was my first massive, website, and whether I was going to fail or succeed, well, Matt knew the chances there, but turned out it worked out. So it took, say, beginning of summer is when we launched it.
Well, you did a great job. Our interview's coming to an end, but I'll tell you, I'm very impressed. You did a fantastic job on this
Hey, thanks,
website.
Jerry.
So, um,
Loving the
well
new
done. So,
podcast theme and everything.
yeah, um, it's working better than the old one, which was just audio, not video. Um,
Right. Yeah.
when you're this good looking, you got to get on camera, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been taking snapshots and screenshots all day with this on here. Yeah. I
Yeah.
got I got a whole portfolio for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this will be out in about a week or so, but yeah, thanks for coming on. This is a great interview. So really impressed
Yeah.
with what you're doing,
Absolutely.
Jason. Um,
Yeah. Thank you, Jerry.
All right, guys, and join us for the workshop coming up here November 14th and 15th. It's only $250, so everybody can afford it, and you can't afford to miss it. So you'll get great marketing strategies like the ones Jason shared today, and great sales strategies. We're going to teach you how to close faster in the home, increase your profits. Really, it's going to be good, and you're going to be able to network with a bunch of other flooring pros that are across the country. So see what they're doing and how they're succeeding. Matt Garcia is going to be there too. So he's going to show you his installer incentive program that he is using to have in-house installers and create equal pay for them versus subcontractors. It's going to be a great event. Looking forward to seeing a lot of you have already signed up. Get signed up right away because we are getting close to sold out. So hurry up and get signed up before your seat is gone. Thanks for joining the Flooring Business Podcast. Now, if you'd like to have a one-on-one discovery call and learn how you can increase your profit and sales by over 30%, go to jerrylevinson.com and let's discuss where you're at and where you want to go. Don't forget to tune in next week where we have another great podcast with another flooring pro.